Our hard-driving American workforce keeps our country running.
Work.
But only about half of our workers say they're satisfied with their jobs. But a smaller, luckier group, including many gathered here today, view their chosen profession not as drudgery, but as a privilege, an opportunity to create and contribute to society through the magic of broadcasting. As a shining example of the latter group, today we proudly honor
Big John Wetherbee.
On Fox 97 WFOX, Gainesville, Atlanta, home of Disney A Day, a family vacation giveaway like no other. Keep listening to win.
Fox 97.
To know John or to hear him was to assume that he never worked a day in his life, whether in his major market radio days or his decades as a TV and radio meteorologist. The beloved John Wetherbee was destined to entertain, inform, and help prevent boring media.
103.5 WFYR 613, John Wetherbee. Ooh, some wonderful lake effect snow falling this morning. No accumulation, though, none at all.
Smooth as silk, impeccable timing.
How do you feel? I feel good. Yeah, good. 93 WNAP, and this is John Wetherbee. Partly
And a playfulness that made you feel like you were a friend.
Clear with record low temperatures, 10 tonight, 10 above. Sunny, not as cold, and 36 tomorrow. We're at 24 degrees right now. And now it's time for our remedial lessons. Today, class, we're going to work on our ABCs. Follow me. Good. Wonderful!
And his natural talent made it look so simple. Big John Wetherbee wasn't born tall, but he got there just as soon as he could, reaching a lofty 6'7" as a high school senior and earning the nickname Shorty. That was about the same time he first sat behind the mic for a weekend air shift at WBBY in his hometown of Galena, Ohio. After doing play-by-play sports during his time at Worcester College, John entered the workforce with his first adult on-air job at WKRC in Cincinnati. In the late 1970s, John found Chicago's WFYR to be a nice place to hang his headphones, having been promoted to program director. Oh, and in Chicago, he also found his wife of 45 years, Diana, through a blind date success story. Fellow WFYR jock, oldies expert Dick Bartley comments on John's excellence as a broadcaster.
I think what most impressed me about John, besides his height and his gregariousness, was his passion for and commitment to radio. John was dedicated to using the best available tech and the best available information to put systems into place to guarantee consistent excellence. And I thank you for this opportunity to say a few words in praise of my Hall of Fame radio friend.
After leaving Chicago for a program director position at WNAP Indianapolis, Wetherbee later returned to Chicago for another stint at WFYR. The first two of John and Diana's three daughters were Windy City babies, with the youngest Wetherbee coming into the world via Atlanta, as John had moved the family south for a program management position with sign-on WALR. After WALR underwent a format change, Wetherbee moved to Fox 97 in Atlanta as midday personality and assistant PD. But a wind of change was in the air. Always a fan of weather, especially major storm events, it was about this time that Big John made the decision to fulfill his dream of becoming a meteorologist. Through online courses while working in Atlanta radio, he earned his meteorological degree from Mississippi State University and eventually received recognition for the highest certification from the American Meteorological Society. It was during this time, while commuting from Atlanta to Chattanooga as weekend meteorologist on WRCB-TV, his first job in TV, John was stranded in Chattanooga by one of the biggest winter events to hit the South in decades, the fabled blizzard of '93. Even as a newbie to the camera, the talent exhibited for years on radio was now becoming apparent to a whole new audience.
The snow is pretty, it looks lovely, the kids are excited, boy, they're fired up. This is a very dangerous storm and a very dangerous situation. I've never seen a storm affect a community, nor have I ever seen a community react to that storm. That's important. That's important that we all know what we did We, the whole Tennessee Valley, we all know what we did to overcome the storm. We checked on people who didn't have power. We checked on elderly folks that we hadn't heard from. We walked down the street, slid down the street, fought the wind. You realize what kind of things we went through? It's like you may not realize it for a year. The impact that this storm had on our lives, if not in a financial terms, but certainly in an emotional terms. And the way the city came together, I think is fantastic.
As that breeze comes off the top of the roof, oh boy, does that got a kick to it. Oh boy, does that got a kick to it.
John, we have some great snowball weather out here. So come over and I'll let you have one.
Right here. Do it.
I have a great idea. John Weatherbee's not doing anything right at the moment. Let's send him out there just for a personal bird's eye view.
I think he'd like that.
All right.
If he's so tall, he might have to bend over the wheel.
That's why we have him here. He's the first guy to know when it snows here. He's about 6'8", and that helps. Let's go to John outside.
If you're without power, plan on being without power for a short period of time, or a moderate period of time, I guess is the safer way to say it. You've got a fire in the fireplace, build the fire. If you've got friends that are nearby that are elderly or maybe are having some problems and you know they're out of power, check on them, see how they're doing, okay? And we'll help each other out in the Tennessee Valley as we get through the storm of 93.
When travel conditions improved and John was back on the air at Fox 97, he stepped into a big pile of good times and great oldies ribbing from his buddies, the morning team of Randy and Spiff.
Hey, Randy and Spiff here, and a great memory for us, for John Wetherbee, was the year he actually missed a forecast. There was snow forecast in Atlanta, and John calmed us all down by saying this is a non-event.
The next morning, John walked into the studio, and I said, Big John, you know, I woke up this morning and there was 12 inches of non-event on my driveway.
At which point, without a beat, John said,
Spiffo, I'm 6'9". To me, anything under 18 inches is a non-event.
John Wetherbee, always positive, always there to help.
Always to be remembered.
Over the next year, Big John rose in the ranks of weatherdom, and over the next decade was at CBS 46 Atlanta, with duties including chief meteorologist.
John, always known as the weatherman's weatherman. He cared about what he did. He enjoyed letting us know about what makes weather happen. And I know one other thing I remember very well about John. You never did that weather toss and said, oh, weather's great today, John, because he would tell you, it's subjective. The weather could be great to you, but not great to me. So I always learned, you know what? You need to know what you're saying when you're tossing to John Wetherbee. We're going to miss you.
Hello, everyone. Happy 4th of July.
Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, WGCI Clear News.
This is people are still buzzing, Steve John.
I'm watching the clear skies right now behind the Ritz and down toward Peachtree, and I'm thinking, oh, we're in good shape now, though. There is some stormy action. That's all past us, and hopefully it'll stay away from us. One of our partners here in our broadcast from Lenox Square has been Peach 94.9, and with me, I've got Sandy Weaver from the Drive at 5.
Now, with a proven track record of serving as chief meteorologist, the Weatherbees then went coastal to Savannah for John's 12-year run, including chief meteorologist with WTOC-TV.
The area's best weather team just got bigger, and we mean bigger.
And they said it couldn't be done.
Meteorologist John Wetherbee joins Pat Prokop, David Turley, Ron Wallace, and Melanie Roberti, making the WTOC Doppler Max 11 weather team the biggest and the best.
It doesn't get any bigger than Pat Prokop.
Teamwork, trust, tradition.
And now me, Big John Wetherbee.
Only on WTOC, the Southeast news leader.
Now, John, we had some pretty nice weather for that Veterans Day parade today.
What great weather for our vets. And it's still a mild evening for us tonight with a band of light showers approaching. Our instant weather net outside, we've got a few clouds, 66 degrees at this hour. Some heavier precipitation toward the Augusta area. Some of that may impact us this evening. By tomorrow, it's all gone. We'll bring you that with the Doppler Max 11 forecast coming up on the news. Liz?
All right, thanks, John.
Never abandoning his radio roots, Big John had taken on a handful of radio station clients for his startup freelance weather service. His client roster eventually grew to the point that pursuing the burgeoning full-time staff meteorologist market became an attractive home-based alternative to the demands of TV schedules. Eddie Esserman recalls Weatherbee's positivity and can-do attitude that served John's career so well.
I remember when Dennis Winslow suggested that we interview John Wetherbee at WFOX. He said, you know, he might just be perfect to work here. And in walks this huge guy. And I went, you're John Wetherbee? And he said, yeah. And that was the beginning of a 40-year relationship, which, ran the gamut from WFOX to our radio stations. And I used to tease John and say, you know, John, there's only 3 kinds of weather in St. Simons: summer, winter, and hurricane. And why would we ever need to pay you to do weather? And he said, I will show you. And you know what? He did.
6-time Emmy winner, TV host of Savannah's renowned St. Patrick's Day Parade for 12 years, daily weather columnist for Savannah's Morning News, number 3 in Facebook likes in all of Savannah, and a multitude of other accolades and community service recognitions make John Wetherbee a deserving inductee to the GAB's Hall of Fame.
Our conversations always started with John asking, "What can I do for you today?" Always a smile and always passionate about broadcasting, and especially passionate about tropical weather. John's passion for the industry and his willingness to share his knowledge to help others and keep listeners safe will live on. Our phone calls, they always ended the same. John reminding me, make it a great day.
You're having a terrible day, you're having a rough day, you're feeling like everything's crushing in on you, and he gives you a call, and you feel better. And then when you hang up the phone with a smile on your face. He kept you laughing, he kept you happy, and I miss him every day, and I'm so glad that he knew about it before he passed away, and that makes me feel wonderful that he knew that he was going to get this award. So I'm so happy for him.
Shortly before losing his battle with cancer last December, John received a phone call from Bob Houghton honoring John with a very important announcement.
Oh, no! Oh, fabulous! Wow! Unbelievable! Bob Houghton, that's great. Wow, I'm so honored. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, John, for a long career of broadcast excellence and friendship to Georgia broadcasters and audiences statewide.